Since its introduction a half-century ago, over 8 million M16s have been delivered to American troops around the globe. This is the defining gun for U.S. soldiers. But what is it about the M16 that has made it the ultimate weapon of America's warriors? To understand just how revolutionary the M16 truly is, you have to go back more than 50 years. After World War II, the U.S. military became convinced that long-range set-piece rifle guns were a thing of the past. Warfare in the future was going to be fought by smaller, more mobile teams and at much closer range. The Army knew they needed a lightweight weapon that could throw off a lot of rounds on a target in a hurry, but still have the power to punch through helmets and body armor.
You have a much more mobile battlefield. And because it was a mobile battlefield, you had to get a lot of lead on the target. If you've got a platoon that can fire in automatic mode, they can suppress a wider array of enemies. They're putting more rounds at that range.
The weapon issued to most combat troops in the Korean War was the M1, semi-automatic, and weighing in at more than 13 pounds. The M1 was fighting its last war. It was time for something new. The first candidate to replace the venerable M1 was the M14.
The M14 is really nothing more than a modified M1. The big difference is a 20-round magazine.
A magazine holding heavyweight 7.62 millimeter bullets.
If you hit somebody with this at 500 yards, you're going to knock them down.
While the M14 had mega stopping power, a full load of ammo was just too heavy to carry. Everything about the gun was heavy, from its wood and steel body to its kick.
One of the problems with the M14, although it is a good rifle, is the recoil.
Post-war automatic rifles, like the M14, Russian-built AK-47, cycle the bullets using a piston-driven mechanism. When the trigger's pulled, a spring-loaded firing pin pushes into the bullet's primer. An explosion of gas then sends the bullet down the barrel.
Some of the gas, though, is going to be diverted back up in here. It's going to come back this way, and if the gas hits that piston that's in here, the piston is going to cause the bolt to come to the rear. When it gets to the back, it's going to go back forward, shoots off another round, and you're ready to go again.
And that piston-powered return generates a lot of recoil, meaning that you're probably off target by your second round.
Firing fully automatic with this is difficult to control.
It seemed like an impossible mission. Build an automatic weapon that was light enough to be easily handled, but powerful enough to blast through a steel plate. To do it would require a breakthrough in the design of assault rifles. Enter Eugene Stoner. A retired Marine and aircraft engineer, Stoner worked with the breakthrough materials of the day: aluminum alloys, fiberglass, and other composites. And it was this knowledge of aerospace engineering that led him to a revolutionary design that would become the military's new automatic weapon.
He started using a revolutionary concept of using aircraft engineering principles in firearms.
In 1957, Stoner submitted a bold new design for an automatic rifle. It would be called the M16.
It's a precursor to the M16. As you can see, it's got a lot of wood and a lot of steel, making it considerably heavy. It's roughly 12 pounds. Here's our M16. It's made of aluminum receiver and plastic composite forearm and stock, making it considerably lighter, roughly 9 pounds loaded.
Not only was the gun lighter, its smaller cartridge, the 5.56 millimeter, also meant for a lighter load in the field. Soldiers could carry twice the number of rounds, which would prove critical in the sustained firefights of modern combat.
So you see the differences between the two. You can carry more rounds with the 5.56 compared to the 7.62x51.
And the lighter weight was just the beginning. Unlike the M14, Stoner's weapon had no piston. It used a direct impingement gas mechanism. The bolt is pushed directly back by the gases. And since the bolt isn't being jostled around by a piston, it returns faster, which means the M16 can fire faster. A lot faster. More than 800 rounds a minute in full auto. Best of all, the M16's gas system produced very little recoil.
Recoil's considerably less, so you get more actual rounds downrange and also more accurate with those rounds.
Lightweight, accurate, and a fast firing rate. The military thought they had their gun. Can soldiers really use it? Fort Jackson, South Carolina, boot camp for the U.S. Army. Over 7 long weeks, these green troops are molded into soldiers. And a crucial part of that preparation is training on the M16.
You officially, Group A0, you're assigned weapon rock forward.
About 120 of them will be fired for the first time, full rounds.
Fire, move forward to your weapon and take a knee.
To pass the drill, these soldiers have to put 4 out of 6 shots in a grouping no bigger than 4 centimeters.
Every single shot inside that 4 centimeter circle.
If they miss, it's back to square one.
How you start over?
Put another target, you make sure it's got on target phone.
Remarkably, after only 3 weeks, 98% master the weapon.
That's as good as we expect any private to shoot right there.
Delivering on Eugene Stoner's engineering breakthrough requires cutting-edge manufacturing technology. Sabre Defense is a major supplier of weapons to the U.S. military and police forces around the world.
We manufacture both commercial and military weapons. We make commercial AR-15s and M16s for law enforcement.
For all its revolutionary design, the M16 is basically a series of 3 tubes: the barrel, the receiver, and the stock. The heart of the weapon is the receiver. It houses the magazine well, the trigger assembly, and the bolt carrier group. And it's here that cutting-edge manufacturing meets high-tech material.
We begin the manufacture using solid aluminum forgings. We then use the high-speed machining center behind me to machine out about 80% of the weight of these so that they fit together to form the receiver.
Next comes the 20-inch barrel, bored out by slowly pulling a carbide drill bit through the center. The barrel is then smoothed and scored with a spiral-shaped groove in a process called rifling.
By adding rifling inside the barrel, you can spin the bullet, it stabilizes it in flight, and makes it much more accurate.
The finished aluminum receiver is then bolted together in a straight line with the steel barrel and composite buttstock. This linear layout also has another advantage. It keeps the gun from rising when fired in full auto mode.
As the bullet travels down the barrel, the bolt carrier recoils directly straight back into the upper tube contained in the stock. That gives a straight impulse back, which helps reduce recoil in the weapon.
And there it is, the M16, the ultimate tool of American warfare. But it didn't start out that way. In 1962, with tensions escalating in Vietnam, 1,000 M16s were sent to the South Vietnamese and special forces working with them. It was time for the M16 to face the ultimate test. Was the rifle really ready for battle?
The reliability in it is almost zero.